So one thing we have to do is insert the wireless antenna here on the side of the front electronics box. Okay, and you can flip it up. And the last thing we have in our bag is the connection equipment for the solar panel. So I'll go get the solar panel. And the solar panel comes with little foam blocks. You should save them in case you have to ship it again somewhere. So the end of the solar panel with the cables will go down at the GPS antenna end, the back end of the boat. I'm just going to sort of lay it gently down all over these wires, and I'll do the back end first. Yeah. Just make sure that there's enough slack here on these wires. And you want the black and red wires to be up over the solar panel. The white cable and the GPS black cable here can both go under. Okay, so there's only one way to connect these. Well, first of all, actually make sure you don't short the plus and minus of the solar panel directly to one another. That would short the panel out. The panel does have short circuit protection, but better not to test it. So we'll plug that in there, this in here, and your solar panel's hooked up. If you're in the sunlight, you can actually open the electronics box here, and you'll see like a solar icon showing up on the solar charge controller, indicating that the solar panel is charging the battery. Great, so yeah, we want to flip these brackets that we attached earlier outward so that they're situated as close as possible to the holes at the corners and the sides of the solar panel. So let's put that under like that. Put the bracket out. You really only need probably 4 brackets to hold the panel down. I quite often only use it with 4, but I'll show connecting all 6 here. Okay, so in our connection bag, we'll take out these bolts. They're about 3 centimeters long, stainless steel bolts. And we'll just put them in the holes. You might find that you need to grip the grommets here at the corners and the sides with a small pair of pliers, just to keep them from rotating when you put these bolts in, but the first one seemed to go in okay. Yeah, this one's rotating, so I'm going to take the pliers and just hold the grommet while I rotate the bolt in. Okay. And sometimes I find if it's really tight, I get a little socket head here, and it makes it go much easier. Okay, so now the bolts are into the corner holes of the solar panel. So we're going to get the bolts now into the blue brackets here. So this part we'll have to kind of adjust things as we go. Maybe I'll start off Actually, turns out there was a mistake in how we set up the blue brackets. The back two blue brackets should have been in the holes furthest back on the boat here. So we'll just have to fix those right now. I can remove the solar panel temporarily, or just kind of set it aside for now. Unplug it. Yeah, these two brackets here should be in the back holes. The front two holes are for the fins, so a little mistake there we made on the initial part of the video. That's alright. Okay, tighten that socket. Now we'll put the solar panel back on. This will be much better fit now. Okay. Yeah. Goes in. Goes in. And do our side ones. Okay. And do the front ones as well. Just make sure the cables here are off to the side so they don't get pinched. This one's a little bit tight. Let's have a look at that. That's the GPS antenna, so we'll take off, give it a bit more slack there. Okay, maybe that was a bit too much slack. Yeah, that should be okay for now. Okay. So actually, for now, I think I'll just tighten the nuts on the back brackets and the side brackets, because we're going to want to lift this panel up a little bit to do a depth transducer test, and then I can show screwing down or bolting down the front of the panel after that. You want to make these fairly tight, but not super tight that you're cracking the plastic or anything like that. Just tight enough that they won't come off if you know, the boat's being transported in a car or something and you have some vibration. You wouldn't want them to loosen the nuts so that the nuts fall off. Okay, so the boat's together, and now we can do a test of the depth transducer. So turn on power, it'll beep, and then it'll beep probably about 10 times usually, something around there, and then it'll give 4 rapid beeps, and that indicates that it's ready to be used. So while it's doing that, I can pull up the water here. It's just in a little bucket. So the sonar transducer actually has to be in water to work, so this bucket's just for testing the transducer. And I'll just slide the boat up and just kind of center it so that the transducer's in the water on top there. Okay, so now I'll go start the software and connect to the boat, and we'll see if we can see some depth readings.